We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said, you have freedom of speech. But what has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. I've never seen anything like it.
We took the freedom of speech away, said Donald Trump, said a sitting, elected president of the United States of America who swore an oath to support and defend this document, to support and defend the protections provided herein. One of those being protecting the abridgment of the freedom of speech, the abridgment, the stifling of the freedom to assemble, to redress your government of your grievances. All of these things are enshrined in the First Amendment of the Constitution, and Donald Trump thinks he is a king who, with the stroke of his Sharpie pen, signed away our rights to freedom of speech. He said it in a meeting. He said it with his mouth. So all of these free speech warrior podcast bro dipshits like Joe Rogan and the Schultz numbnuts and every other one of these other morons, the Theo Vaughns, or all of these assholes who brought us Donald Trump, who served the agenda of Donald Trump to get him elected, they're now, where are they now? All based on the freedom of speech. Where are they now? Because he's saying it with his fat mouth that we took the freedom of speech away. During a roundtable on Antifa, trying to root out anti-fascists in the country. That's the agenda of a fascist. If an anti-fascist organization, it's not even an organization, it's an ideology, but if your main enemy is an anti-fascist organization, that makes you a fascist. The same thing you tried to make the charge against Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and the Democratic Party during the campaign. Watch this remarkable moment that from the White House, a seated president announcing, we took the freedom of speech away.
Courageous journalists have personally been victims of Antifa attacks. Andy Ngo has been repeatedly beaten by Antifa thugs for his work in Andy is a very serious person, too, I have to tell you. I've been watching him for a long time. Is Andy here? That's what I thought. Hello, Andy. I thought that was you. You're looking better than you do out on those streets, huh? You look much better. It's nice to have you. You feel a little safer here, I think, maybe. Well, not that safe, because you have them. You have to worry about that. But thank you very much. Andy Ngo has been repeatedly beaten by Antifa, and including one assault that left him with a brain hemorrhage. Only days ago, Nick Sortor was assaulted in Portland by a flag-burning mob, and we've made it 1 year penalty for inciting riots. We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts, and the court said, you have freedom of speech. But what has happened is when they burn a flag, it agitates and irritates crowds. I've never seen anything like it on both sides, and you end up with riots. So we're going on that basis. We're looking at it not from the freedom of speech, which I always felt strongly about, but never passed the courts.
First of all, we'll readdress the taking the freedom of speech away thing. Andy Ngo, by the way, if you don't know who Andy Ngo is a fascist himself. He is not a journalist. He is not an independent journalist. He is a facilitator of fascism and white supremacist violence against Americans. There are all kinds of videos of him coordinating with violent white supremacists who are on the hunt for liberals, Democrats, non-racist protesters. That's a thing. That footage is out there. And he is now an honored invitee to the White House, where he's praised by our fascist president, Donald Trump. Nick Sartor got arrested in Portland for being an instigator, an agitator, for harassing people, for putting his hands on people. and he's invited to the White House to tell his valiant tale of what a patriot he is against Antifa. Ugh. Listen, you cannot believe a man, Donald Trump, who says that Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are radical left lunatics. We have middle of the road corporate Democrats leading this party, and Donald Trump would have you believe that they're radical left lunatics. So if that's what he believes, what do you think he believes about all these other things? He does truly believe he has king-like powers to sign an executive order that somehow nullifies the Constitution of the United States itself, which clearly he does not possess that power. His executive order setting sentencing guidelines for burning the American flag, which is absolutely ruled on by the Supreme Court. It is settled precedent that you can burn the flag. You could burn the piece of cloth that happens to have blue field of white stars and red and white stripes. It's a symbol of the power and strength of the United States, is it not? Is the symbol of the power and strength of the United States so weak? Is the country so weak that it can't withstand some criticism in the form of political speech where a flag is burned? Trump, is your America so minuscule? And is the country as insecure as you are? Is it as weak and fragile as your ego and your self-esteem, Donald Trump? My America's not. Am I a fan of flag burning? I don't care. I don't care. It's a symbol. It's like, if I rip this in half, does this mean I hate this video? Or does it mean I hate Donald Trump because all this is a quote from Donald Trump? But how about that? Let's address it. And we've made it 1 year penalty for inciting riots. We took the freedom of speech away because that's been through the courts. Proudly proclaiming that he took the freedom of speech away. And where are the Republicans who claim? Where's Ted Cruz and Rand Paul, who always break out the Constitution out of their pocket and it's all tattered and frayed like it's been read like the family Bible, worn over. There's Sharpie inside where they've highlighted things like I highlight things, and they've written notes. Oh, I'm such a fan and a protector of the Constitution. Where are they right now? After Donald Trump proclaimed he took the freedom of speech away. Their silence speaks volumes, does it not? Their adherence to the thing that they claim they adhere to, that doesn't exist, speaks volumes. Their loyalty to the dear leader is what you should be paying attention to. Their absolute blind loyalty to the cult leader. That's what you should be paying attention to. Anyway, I'll stop telling you what you need to pay attention to and let you make up your mind for yourself. Let's talk about it in the comments. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Again, what does that? What does it mean? What does it mean? I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.